My name is Elena. For 6 years I ran away from my life. I thought freedom meant leaving. I thought happiness was somewhere else. I was completely wrong. I grew up in a small, quiet town. My father was a strict man. My mother never spoke against him. Our house was full of rules. Rules for how to sit and talk and dress. Rules for who I should become. I was the good daughter always. I got high marks in school. I came home before dark. I never argued or shouted, but inside a fire was burning. A fire no one could see. When I turned 18, I broke free. I left for the big city. My father said, "If you leave, do not return." My mother cried at the door. I walked away without looking back. I wanted to find myself finally. The city was loud and bright. I rented a tiny room. I worked in a cafe by day. I painted by night. I felt so alive and so free. I thought this was happiness. I met a man named Daniel. He was a writer with sad eyes. He understood my restless heart. We fell in love too fast, too deep, too wild. We thought we were unstoppable, but I was still broken inside. I just did not know it yet. I carried wounds I never healed. I carried fears I never named. And I pushed Daniel away slowly, without him even knowing. I picked fights over small things. I doubted his love constantly. I looked for problems where none existed. I started feeling trapped again. The same trapped feeling from my childhood, the feeling of walls closing in. One night, I sat by the window. Daniel was sleeping peacefully. I looked at his gentle face, and I felt terror in my heart, not terror of him. I thought love meant disappearing. I thought commitment was a cage, so I made the worst decision. I packed my bags silently, and I left before sunrise. I left a note with 5 words. I need to find myself. That was all I said. No apology, no explanation. Just 5 cold words, and an open door behind me. I moved to another city, then another and another. I traveled to mountains and beaches. I met new people everywhere. I painted beautiful landscapes. I told myself I was free, but freedom without peace is empty. I was running but never arriving. I was searching but never finding. Because I was looking outside, when the real problem was inside. I was running from myself. 3 years passed like a blur. I had adventures and stories, but at night I felt hollow. The silence before sleep was heavy. Daniel's face appeared in my dreams. His sad eyes asking why I left. I ignored the pain and kept moving. I told myself I was brave. I told myself I was special. I told myself normal life was boring. But deep down I knew the truth. I was a coward running from love. I am 28 years old. One night, I sat by the window. Daniel was sleeping peacefully. I looked at his gentle face. And I felt terror in my heart, not terror of him, terror of staying. I thought if I stay, I will lose myself. I thought love meant disappearing. I thought commitment was a cage, so I made the worst decision. I packed my bags silently. And I left before sunrise. I left a note with 5 words. I need to find myself. That was all I said. No apology, no explanation. Just 5 cold words. And an open door behind me. I moved to another city, then another and another. I traveled to mountains and beaches. I met new people everywhere. I painted beautiful landscapes. I told myself I was free. But freedom without peace is empty. I was running but never arriving. I was searching but never finding. Because I was looking outside, when the real problem was inside. I was running from myself. 3 years passed like a blur. I had adventures and stories. But at night, I felt hollow. The silence before sleep was heavy. Daniel's face appeared in my dreams, his sad eyes asking why I left. I ignored the pain and kept moving. I told myself I was brave. I told myself I was special. I told myself normal life was boring, but deep down I knew the truth. I was a coward running from love. One day I stopped in a small village. There was a quiet lake nearby. I sat by the water for hours. I watched the sun sink low, and I finally asked myself a question. What are you so afraid of, Elena? The answer came slowly like ripples. I was afraid of being controlled. I was afraid of losing my identity. I was afraid of repeating my parents' life. I was afraid of giving my heart and having it broken or caged. I realized I had judged love wrongly. My parents' cold marriage was not love. Daniel's gentle kindness was real love, and I punished him for my past. I punished him for wounds he did not cause. I was unfair and cruel. I decided to return, to apologize to Daniel, not to win him back. Just to give him peace, just to say I am sorry, just to take responsibility. The journey back was long. I was nervous and scared. I did not know if he would see me. I did not know if he had moved on. I just knew I had to go. I owed him the truth. Arrived in the old familiar city, the streets where we once walked. The cafe where we first met. Everything looked the same. But I was different now. I was finally ready to speak. I found out where Daniel lived. He had a small house near the sea. I wrote him a short letter. Dear Daniel, I am in town. Can we meet just once? I need to apologize to you. He agreed to meet me at a park near his home. My hands were shaking badly. When I saw him walking towards me, he looked older and calmer. His eyes were still kind. We sat on a wooden bench. The wind was soft and cool. I started speaking slowly. Daniel, I am so deeply sorry for leaving you without explanation. For leaving you without explanation. For causing you so much pain. It was never about you, I continued. You were always good to me. The problem was inside me. I was afraid of love itself. I was afraid of being trapped. I did not know how to stay. Daniel listened without interrupting. Like he always did years ago, his silence was patient and gentle. When I finished, he nodded slowly. I forgave you long ago, Elena, he said. I had to forgive to move forward. I am married now, he said softly. Her name is Myra. We have a daughter named Lily. My heart felt a sharp pain, but also a strange peace. He found happiness. I am glad, I whispered. You deserve all the love in the world. You were always the better part of us. I held his hand gently. Thank you for seeing me today. Thank you for forgiving me. We stood up and said goodbye. I watched him walk away, back to his home and his family, back to his peaceful life. I stood alone under the trees, and I cried silent tears. Not tears of jealousy, tears of release and clarity. I had finally faced my demon. I had finally told the truth. The chapter was now closed. A new one could begin. I did not stay long in the city. I said my goodbye to the past. Then I returned to my small lake village. I opened a tiny painting studio. I started teaching art to children. Their laughter healed my heart. I learned to love my own company, not running, not searching, just being, simply being. I painted the sunrise every morning. I wrote letters to myself. I became my own safe place. 1 year later, I painted a picture, a woman standing on a hill, her arms open wide, facing a bright new sky. I titled it, She Came Home, home to herself finally. I keep the painting on my wall. It reminds me every day that love is not a cage, that staying is not weakness, that healing is always possible, and that I am worth staying for. If you are running from something today, if you are afraid of being loved, please pause and ask yourself, what am I truly afraid of? The answer may surprise you. The answer may set you free. You cannot run from yourself. Sooner or later you must turn around, face your fears and your wounds, and learn to stay with yourself. That is the only real home, the home inside your own heart. My name is Elena. I once ran away from everything. Now I finally came home. Not to a house or a person, but to myself, and that is enough.